Your what's good, Josh? Your boy Bad C, aka Nicholas Cage, aka Larry J. Blige. Yo, we back with another episode of your favorite song. I sit down with your favorite artists, producers, battle rappers, and I ask, yo, what's your favorite song, B? Word up. And tonight, it's my pleasure to bring on my big bro. Had many conversations with the big bro about the biz, and definitely a legend. I can't wait to get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, my big bro, Easy Mo P. What's good, big bro?
Peace, Bad Seed, my Brooklyn fam.
Yeah, 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 man. Yo, it's an honor to have you on. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about this one because, especially with the whole Brooklyn thing. You know what I'm saying? Especially with that. I remember standing outside barbershop, um, R.I.P. Angelo, his barbershop,
Oh yeah,
Miracles,
man. Yeah,
yeah,
rest in peace.
yeah, on Myrtle. I remember standing outside chopping it up with you about music and shit like that way back. You know what I mean? So salute
Yeah,
to you.
and we wouldn't know each other too if it wasn't for why am I forgetting his name right
Was
now?
it L? You talk about L?
Yeah, L.
Yeah, yeah, L the barber, my dude L, man. Shout to
L,
L,
L
my
always
guy.
spoke highly of you. He was like, "Yo, you got to meet my man, Bad Seed. He's nice on the mic."
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, but Mo B, to get the stamp from you was big for me. You know what I'm saying? Because what I want to do real quick is usually I don't do this, but you're such a legend, for the younger folks that might be listening, or some people who just don't read liner notes. They might not know know who the hell Easy Mo B is. You one of the most underrated, slept on producers of all time to me. Because let's look at the discography, bro. Most of Big's first album, you worked with Pac. You did Lex Coupe Beamers in the Benz, fucking Flavor in Your Ear. Like it just goes on and on and on. Yeah. So the accolades are just super duper legendary. So that leads me to my favorite joint of yours. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it was hard. Pause. It was real difficult to pick what I thought would be the joint. So I'm gonna cheat, big bro. I'm gonna cheat, and I'm gonna name like three. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't really narrow the shit down, right? So first joint, most definitely, hands down, all time, Hornet, right? Um, it's the Isaac Hayes walk on by flip,
Yes, sir.
but it was done so menacing. I don't think I've heard a version done. It's a popular flip, but I haven't heard too many people flip it like that was flipped. You understand what I'm saying? Like it seemed to have fit Big perfectly. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I want, if you don't mind, I want to interject. Like,
Yeah,
first
go
of
by
all,
all means.
rest in peace, Austin Harvey Senior. I'm Junior.
Mm-hmm.
When I was young, like my father, he was a heavy Isaac Hayes fan, and I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm old enough. I used to ride around in the car with him while he
Yeah.
would play like that album, the Hot Buttered Soul joint,
Mm,
all the way straight through on 8 track.
mm,
So my school and my education was early. Matter of fact, once I got into producing, a lot of the records that he used to play is stuff that I ended up sampling. But it
working
don't matter.
with.
It don't matter if it was a kick or snare or
Mm,
first thing I would think of was like, yo, remember when Daddy used to play that?
right.
And that one right there, even as a kid, that was always like funky for me. And it's like as a kid used to make them long songs. It could be anywhere from 11, 12 minutes or more long.
Yeah,
But
facts.
but you know how they say that part.
Yeah. That part.
That part, when I got older, coming into knowledge of hip hop and wanting to be a producer and everything, that part always stuck with me. And I'm like, I want to do something with it, but it was slow. So, and as you can see, you see DJ. First of all, I started out as a DJ. I didn't even know I was going to end up being a producer. But speaking of DJs, you know, salute to all of the pioneers back in the day, because what they used to do is if a beat was too slow, they would go from 33, boom, throw it on 45. It's so crazy we're talking about Isaac Hayes, but a classic break beat back in the day that Grandmaster Flash, Grand Wizard Theodore, all of them that they used to cut up. Another Isaac Hayes joint called Breakthrough on the Truck Turner soundtrack. Now it really goes. They was like, that's too slow. Throw it on 45. So DJ knowledge that they instilled from the beginning of the early era of hip hop, which is if a beat they felt like it was too slow, they'd take it from 33 to 45. That's what I did. Walk on by. I was like, it's dope, but it need to be faster. And you know, today that's common. That's real common for us to take beats and speed them up.
Yeah, facts.
We call it, a lot of people call it chipmunking. When you chipmunk the beat, like speed it up.
Kanye West, yeah.
And you get even more of a chipmunk effect if some singing or some vocals is on there. But I never really liked the sound or the idea of chipmunking beats with the voice in it. My thing was just get the music faster.
Right.
Matter of fact, when the voice starts speeding up to chipmunk level proportion, I never liked that. I was like, so long story short, I threw Warning on 45, drummed it up. I added some like light strings in the background because the beat, when we was in the studio, me and Big, the beat was just looping, boom, boom. And I was like, for what the story that he's telling, you need to create some drama. So that's where the that was just like drama to go behind the story.
So was that part, the drama part to the beat, put there before or after he laid his vocals? Did you go back and add that stuff? Okay.
After he laid his vocals.
So he laid his verses to the just that. Wow, that's crazy.
Because when after the vocals is laid, I mean, you're an MC. I ain't even gonna call you a rapper. You're an MC. See, you an MC. You know, when you're in the studio or you've been working with somebody, after the producer listens to the vocals, it's your vocals that give them the idea for a variety of things. Everything from drops.
Right.
Like when you get to a certain point, you say something and they're like, boom, that's a good spot. Drop it right there. Boom, bring it back in.
Right.
Or maybe you said something. Maybe you said something about, I don't know, shots rang out or whatever. And then you hear pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
So it was the same thing with those strings. I was like, he's telling a story. So you need like some drama back there.
Yeah.
And I was like, strings is perfect. So I took like some small hits off of, I don't remember what record it is. And even if I do remember, I ain't telling you.
but nah, so the second record is most definitely off Big's first album. Again, it's the what? The Method Man. Like,
how did I know you was gonna say that? How did I know?
Bro,
I don't know what you got planned on the subject of the what that you're about to say, but I just wanted to say something. And I don't think I ever been this bold or that forward with it, but you know, when it comes to chopping samples and stuff like that, there's things that producers is doing now, or stuff that producers get celebrated for. And I've been doing this since like 89. I was preparing myself up to that. But in 89 with Big Daddy Kane, that's when I got my first break.
Yeah.
And when I got that 1200, I did not sleep.
Talk your shit, big bro.
I still got them now. I kept baggy eyes from losing sleep. And I just tried to use that machine to its fullest potential. And at that time back then, everybody was just looping. And then we had a meeting at my management office, because I was managed by Rush. Rush Producers Management. Rest in peace to Francesca Sparrow, my very first real manager. She called a meeting, right, to all of the producers that was over there. Me, Daddy-O, Large Professor, Hank Shockley. It was so many different producers under that umbrella over there. So she called a meeting. She handed out this memo that she already had typed out to all of us. And we look on the paper, on the memo, and it got a long list of artists. Everybody from Anita Baker to Steve Miller Band, Prince, whoever. And so we looked up, and she said, "You see those names on that list?" We was like, because we puzzled. We was like, "Yeah." She said, "Stay away from them." Now, this was at the time when De La Soul had just suffered all of them sampling lawsuits from 3 Feet High and Rising. And then following right after him, after them, came the lawsuits with
Biz.
Not Biz, I Need a Haircut album.
Yeah, I Need a Haircut, which was a fire album. Fire.
Yeah, with the Gilbert O'Sullivan Alone Again sample.
Fire.
And the Turtles and all of that stuff. So at the meeting, she was responding to all of you know, the artists and the labels and the publishers that was alarmed at the rate that they stuff was being sampled out there. So now I left the office like depressed, man. I had that Acura. A lot of people from Brooklyn know me. I had that green Acura with the beige seats. I left out the office. The car was parked right outside the office. I sat in the car, and word is born. I ain't even start the car to drive off and leave. I got in the car and I just sat there, and I was just like depressed, like basically feeling like, damn, what I'm gonna do. And it's right there. That was somewhere around, I signed to Rush in 1990. So that was anywhere between like about 90, 91, somewhere around there. And when I left outside that office depressed and went and sat in the car, I was like, damn, what I'm gonna do. And it's like it was two of me. I started having conversations with myself. One, the me said, what you gonna do? And then the other me said, why you gotta always loop? Why you gotta always sample loops? Why can't you sample instruments?
Right.
From records and make your own music.
Yeah.
And after that technique is how we got. That technique that was started gave us Flavor in Your Ear, records like Flavor in Your Ear, Everything Remains Raw, the Jeeps, Lex Coupe, Beamers in the Benz joint. A lot of people may not be familiar, but I also did their Lifestyles of the Rich and Shameless. Now that was a loop. But I just looped it, and I drummed it up, added the horns.
Yeah.
I had like some xylophone. Don't let me get into singing the beats. Because I can sing my styles.
True producer.
When you picture it in your head, is the way it gotta come out. And that's just what I would do. Like Flavor in Your Ears, basically a guitar with a lot of reverb on it. But it was already like that on the record. That's one guitar note and it's transposed. Boom, boom, low, high. That's all that was.
Yeah.
And I added some rock guitar on the hook. But even further than that, I just got really seriously into the chopping of the beats. I'm gonna get back to the original reason why I'm saying all this. There's a lot of people that try to take credit or try to give other people credit for the chopping thing and all of that. Bruh, I was doing that when nobody else was doing it in 1990. You hear me? I would I'm the first. Yeah, I must say, I'm the first that would drop a needle to a slow jam or a blues record that had a tempo like almost like how It's a Man's World goes. Like, now we know in hip hop for breaks, you want the break to already go how you need it to go, so the rapper can rhyme to it, like anything from or. But as long as it's 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I would listen to a blues record or some slow jam, and it goes like, and I'm like, I like that. I want to use that. And then here we go, the two conversations between myself. The other me will say, yo, but the record don't go like it's supposed to. You can't chop that. And then I said, yes, I can.
Right.
I'm gonna chop those notes, get in and anything I like, get in there and chop it and put it where it need to be. Now, this has never been said in an interview before, but I'm gonna say it because I'm getting sick and tired of so many people getting credit and giving other people credit for being the first or so-called being the best or whatever at that. I was the first doing that. I was the first doing that. I'm gonna finally say it. My chop game was serious already back in like 1990, 1991. I could take you to records back then in that era that I did things that at the same time, while a whole bunch of everybody was out, you go and you listen to their records, they was not doing that. So I just want to get that straight right there.
Yeah, talk that shit. Yeah, nah, talk that shit. Yeah. That's what it is. Shit.
It needs to be said. It needs to be said.
Word up. Word up. So okay, being that I'm cheating, I'm gonna go with the third one. The third one is Another Victory.
That's number one. That's the one that set it all off.
Yo, Another Victory is, bruh. But I'm a huge. Yo, Kane is the reason why I rap. You know what I'm saying?
Kane is the reason why I'm sitting here talking to you. You know what I mean? Love and respect to Big Daddy Kane, man.
Yeah, shout to Kane. Shout to Kane. Another Victory. I remember the first time I heard, because I remember me and my boy Fred Blast, shout to Fred Blast. You know, we used to do these things with the record store. I'm gonna do a story time for y'all one day, and I'm gonna tell y'all about what we used to do with the record stores. Go in there and do wild shit with the tapes to get the tapes. You know, we had to have our hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But I remember when I first got that K out, man. It's a Big Daddy thing, and Another Victory came on. How it faded in.
That was
wait. What the fuck is this?
That was, the fading up. That was Kane's idea.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was Kane's idea. Yeah.
Yo, that was fire, bro. Yo, take me to that session, yo. Like.
Okay, take you to that session. Astoria, Queens.
Mm.
Um,
At Power Play?
no. What was the name of the studio? I forgot. Astoria, Queens, like around Steinway Street. Engineers Tony A and Tony P. Wow, I can't think of the name of this studio right now. The sampler that they had in there, and that Kane used to sample a lot of the joints that he produced for that album, was on a synclavier. I
The
was sitting
keyboard.
I was sitting right there, sitting right next to him, right next to him, when he sampled the boot, got, boot, got from the Mary J. Jane Girls, and then he added the da 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 da. He had the engineers. They basically was like taking the sample and everything, but then once they got it in the machine for him, he sat there, and I'm not lying. He sat there and he programmed. I watched him make that, the Children of the Future joint, a lot of different records, the Mortal Kombat. I was sitting right there. And my records were made the same way. I didn't have my own equipment. I didn't have the SP1200 yet. The paper that I got from doing that with him got my first 1200. But they got the Another Victory sample in there, and then we looped it. I added a hi-hat and a 808, and that was it. I wanted to drum it up, but Kane was like, nah, leave it alone, leave it alone. I kept bugging him about it. And then he started to make a joke of it. Every time I brought it up, he'd be like, the remix. It was like, chill, bro. But when I listened to it today, it was appropriate. His ear was right. Just leave it alone, leave it like that. But I'm glad you brought that record up, because following what we just talked about, those were my looping days. I was just looping records. The loop game was so serious to me back then, and a lot of other producers, I know they will agree. I know they did too. Yo, I had a
Because this was early. Yeah, like that record came out what, 89, 90?
89.
This was early Moby.
Towards the end of the year, like September, October, something like that. So a lot of the older producers, they will agree with me, and they know what I'm talking about. All of us, our loop game was so serious that I had an 8x12 notebook with pages and pages and pages of list of samples. Like, yeah, I'm gonna attack that, I'm gonna attack that, I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna finally get to that right there too. I would just look in the book, from listening to records. I'm like, write that in the book. I was seriously organized with my ideas, concepts, and stuff, like what I wanted to do. And the Another Victory beat, that was in that book. But like we just previously talked about, though, it's all about expanding. You know what I mean? And trying to be the best, as better as you can be. And when that meeting happened up at Rush with Fran, which brought alarm to the whole sampling thing, it was, when I think about it, it was the best thing that happened to me, because it forced me to be better. It forced me to be greater. It forced me not to have to rely just on a loop. So I'm gonna take it back to, and I didn't get to finish saying that because I said all this other stuff, but I'm gonna take it back to when you talked about the what. The what is clearly indicative of my chop technique, my chop style.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really about making, and that's what hip hop is. It always has been from the beginning. Making something from nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, think about it. We are some geniuses, man.
That's a fact.
All hip hop producers. I ain't sitting here just patting myself on the back. All hip hop producers out here who sample, Give yourself a pat on the back. You are a genius.
Fact.
To sit and listen to a record, dissect the record, and hear things that other people don't even hear, and then take them and arrange them. And sometimes a record that's that popular, that's that obviously that dope. Like now we got Who Samples. You go in there, the same record has been sampled by 56 producers. And you listen to each one of them and you hear each rendition of what they did with it. Y'all producers out there, including myself, give yourself a pat on the back. We are geniuses.
Facts. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Something from nothing.
Something from nothing. That's a motherfucking fact. Word up.